All right, so tonight we are going to start our success story with Dr. Fariel. Okay, Dr. Fariel just passed recently yesterday, and she will just try to share her experience about her journey, how she did all of those stuffs, and she will try to say all of those things for you. And I hope these advices will make you to understand the basic concepts and also some guidance you're going to have from Dr. Fariel, inshallah. Dr. Fariel, are you ready and you can hear me?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Ateek. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. It's feeling good of hearing your voice again.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
Long
congratulations,
time.
first of all.
Thank you. Thank
Congratulations.
you
It
so
was
much.
a very nice job you have done. Okay, so stage is yours. You can tell to your audience.
So I think the people who were previously there, they know. But for the new people who have recently joined your course, yes, I think I started with your course in February. And initially, I was just taking the mocks which you conducted, and then later on, after 2-3 weeks, I started with the regular classes. So for the course, I would first tell about the course. I think everybody who is taking mocks, I would suggest them to take the regular classes with you with this course, IMG MRCS course, because when you start taking the regular classes, you'll notice the difference, and it makes your preparation kind of systematic. You have a schedule every day. You know you have to prepare certain topics every day. So if you're busy somewhere else, you get to arrange your time, and you become more regular and punctual in studying. So joining regular classes gives you a very time, you get to prepare for your exam in a very timely manner. And also for the mocks and for the regular classes, I would suggest that try to participate as much as you can. Although the people pass who are just listening to the mocks and who are not very much active in participations. But for me, my personal experience is that if you participate, if you speak up, then it gives you practice for the exam. When you're sitting in the exam, you'll feel like you are answering the mocks. You won't have that difficulty in speaking up, and you won't be shy to answer. You would say anything which you think is whatever is coming to your mind, and most of the time that is the right thing, the right answer that you know, but you are afraid of speaking. So if you speak in the mocks, you speak in the classes, you will have a better practice of speaking up in exam, because this exam is all about listening to the question and taking out the answer from your mind and then saying it. So this is what the knowledge section is about. And for the skill part, you need practice. So this is a really good forum for practicing. Try finding a study partner. If you find one, and then it's good enough. If you don't find a study partner, try practicing with yourself. Try practicing with anybody at home, whether he or she is a doctor or not. I used to practice with Dr. Sonia, and I also used to do examinations on my husband. My husband is not a doctor, but if you have a non-doctor husband or wife, even then practice as much as you can, and also participate about history taking, communications, skills. Even the surgical skill steps are practiced in a really good manner in this group with Dr. Ateek. Dr. Ateek will make really good lists for you guys, and he'll make 10-step approaches for you guys. And believe me, those 10-step approaches, they're very helpful. And there is a very less chance that you forget anything if you really just go through the classes and the mocks regularly. So I would suggest everybody to be regular, and definitely hard work on your part is very important. But if you get regular with the classes and the mocks, there is a high 10 chance of passing. And
Okay,
that's all.
Dr. Fariel, tell us something about like which kinds of notes you used, and how many times, like how long you had for your preparation as well. So I think for the new candidates, those are the most essential things to know, right?
Yes, when I booked the exam, I wanted to give it at least 3.5 to 4 months. So, but when I started with, I did some other notes from some other sources. But then when I started with you, I had 3 months, I think, or 2.5 months. So after that, I completely followed the IMG MRCS notes. So I think the notes are a bit more detailed to what is required for exam. So if you have time, if you have 3 months, you should thoroughly go through the notes that Dr. Atik provides. One more thing
So
I want to add is that in UK exam, they're adding new questions, they're adding new stations. It's not just that they are sticking to the older questions. It's not like 100% of the exam is repeat. 80% of the exam is repeat, but 75% you can say. But there are new questions. There are certain questions for which you have to have some idea about, you have to have some detailed knowledge of the topics. So it's really good if you have time and you can go through the notes in detail. So I would recommend to follow the IMG MRCS notes. They are very detailed. They're kind of authentic. And if you stick to the notes, I don't think you need any other study material in particular. So this is
Dr.
the
Ferial,
all-in-one kind of notes.
one candidate asked you, like, did you need any pass the MRCS or MRCS B question bank or pass test or something like that to pass this?
Initially I did, but later on, initially I was, since it was my second attempt, so I tried to do as much resources as I can. But gradually, I learned that when I saw your notes, then I kind of thought that these are all in one kind of notes. So we don't need, if you are subscribed with the course and if you're taking all the notes, so I think they're comprehensive enough. You don't need any other source. So I would suggest to have a good revision from one source. So I would suggest that you get this full subscription with IMG MRCS, and instead of reading from um, different materials, just go through the 2 or 3 times from the same material again and again, so that it consolidates your memory.
Another question for you, Ferial. The questions that you face in your exam, were they are similar to what you study in the course?
As I said, about 70 to 80% of the questions are similar. But yes, there are new questions as well. So as I said, the notes are a bit detailed. So this helps you answer those questions. At least you can think of the newer questions.
Like
If you have new questions in
if you
exam.
have the
Yeah.
concept clear, then you can go for it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And for exam, I would suggest, since it was my second attempt, so having a thorough practice and being able to speak and being practiced enough makes you confident. I was more confident than my first attempt. And also the thing that is really important, that is the real key to this exam, is you have to control your nerves. If you are stressed out, if you are panicking, you cannot perform, because this exam is all about practice and nerves. So I tried really hard to control my nerves. If I'm not performing well at one station, I would forget about that station, and on the next station, I'll try to regain my nerves and regain all my memory and try to perform as a new candidate. So this is very important for all the candidates who are, I know candidates are worried, anxious at this time. So I would suggest you all to be relaxed as much as you can.
Dr. Ferial, one more question for you is, how much hour do you need to go through for this preparation for this exam? Okay, if you are thinking to sit for like 3 months from now.
3 months from now.
Yeah.
I Everybody has a different pace of studying. I cannot really
Correct.
comment. What I used to do was I tried to not I tried not to miss any mock. I tried to, if you have discussed 10 topics in 2 days, I would try to finish those 10 topics. So for me, it takes maybe 4 to 5 hours to complete 10 topics in 2 days, 4 to 5 hours each day. So if somebody can do it in 2 to 3 hours, that is also, I think, good enough. So it depends on how much time you are giving or how much time you require to learn a few things. But yes, it's not like you just study for 2 hours a day and you expect that you will pass the exam. You have to sit and you have to study for a good 4 or 5 hours each day. So you have to make the exam your priority. So I think that is the key.
Yes.
We all know
Yes.
that it is a tough exam. We all know that the exam is not really easy. And so yes, we have to sit. I would suggest to give at least 4 or 5 hours each day.
Yes.
And when
So
you
basically, it
started
depends
with
on person to person.
yeah, but at least a good 4 or 5 hours each
Yeah.
day would be required. And when you started the skills portion, when you started discussing the skills portion and you ended the knowledge, after that I used to revise the knowledge portion every day because revision is really important. So
Yes. You will
cannot just
forget this very easily.
yes, exactly. Yes. So in the last month, try to revise as much knowledge stations as you can. And especially in the last week, I went through all the anatomy, spotting pictures and the anatomy notes, because anatomy is the subject you forget really easily. So I used to go through the anatomy pictures again and again. So that was also very important.
Yes. Can you tell something about the communication station? Someone asked.
Yeah, for communication stations, I think if you have a study partner, practice with a study partner as much as you can. And if you do not have a study partner, then use this group as your forum. Practice with Dr. Ateek, practice with the practice during the mock, and try to be, even we used to practice during the classes. Like somebody would volunteer for some particular station and Dr. Ateek would become the patient and that candidate would become the doctor. So I think for communication, you have, even if you are not really good at English at speaking, that doesn't really matter because they're not looking for how much, how much vocal you are or what kind of vocabulary you are using. They're more concerned about if you are going into the right direction or not. Are you empathizing enough with the patient or not? Are you able to put yourself into the patient's shoes or not? So for communication, uh, just stick to the basic concept of what they want to know and practice as much as you can, and that's all for communication. You don't have to be really well at speaking because for most of the candidates from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, this is the real fear that how are we going to communicate with the natives. So that doesn't really matter in the exam. All that matters is if you have practiced and if you know how what you to answer. Like if the patient asks you, like if the patient keeps on annoying you, how do you have to react? So if you know those tiny things, you can do it. And all of those things will
Yes.
be discussed in when you'll be going through the communication part in IMG MRCS course.
All right. Next question is the anatomy pictures are enough, which are in the notes? Do you need to go through any other things for anatomy?
Honestly, in exam, in my exam in UK, London, the pictures weren't the same, which we used to see. But to have an idea, to have a visual idea of what looks what, those pictures are good. I'm not
Okay.
sure
So
whether the exact pictures are repeated or not because in my exam there were new pictures.
do you suggest for any other things, any other notes or any other books to go through for the pictures of anatomy, or is it like doable for your exam?
I think it's doable. If somebody has a really good time and if somebody is really wants to go through other pictures, then you can Google it. Maybe you can find thousands of pictures on Google, but uh, just to have an idea and just to perform well in an anatomy, I think the pictures are enough. They're doable.
Okay. Next question is, people are always scared about the pathology station. Is the station that is that much tricky to go for?
If you have a basic knowledge of pathology and if your basic concepts are clear, then I think you can do it. There are patho questions are a bit new. They're adding new stations, new questions. So for some candidates might find it difficult, but if you have a basic idea of all the tumors, and if you have a basic idea of like if you have a basic concept of pathology, then I think you can perform on a news station as well. And for that matter, we know that patho has just 2 stations. So even if one of the pathology station goes wrong, you still have a high time chance to pass.
All right.
So I think you should focus on your strengths. You should try to overcome your weaknesses, but focus on your strengths as well. So if you are really good at anatomy, and if you're really good at critical care, then you can compensate for patho, because critical care is almost, I think, repeat in every exam. There is no new station that is added to critical care, but patho, new tumors are being added.
Okay. One candidate asked, like, first of all, congratulations, Fariel, but he would like to know how to improve the communication stations, specifically over the phone. Okay, because he had some unfamiliar questions during his exam, and he couldn't answer that. So, is there anything he could improve himself?
For communication, the key is, for me, I think it is practice, practice, and practice. The more you practice, the more the better you get. Even if you have some problem with speaking English, I think I would suggest that start speaking English with your friends, maybe, or with your study partner, or with whoever you are talking. So you will overcome that barrier, and practice the stations as much as you can. Practice each station at least 4 to 5 times, so you'll know the answer. And do not like we used to discuss in class, Dr. Lee, you would remember that we used to say that do not follow what is written in notes. Even do not follow what is written in Dr. Lee's notes, the word to word, because when you start following word to word, you lose the tone in your voice, you become really monotonous. So
Yes.
try saying things in your own style. When you say things in your own style, it does not remain monotonous anymore. So just try to put yourself into the patient's shoes or into the attendant's shoes, and then just think, how would you react to such a situation, and or how would you want the doctor to sound. So I think that would
Yes.
help you, and then practice as much as you can. It's not like you do one station once and you go and sit an exam and you are performing it 100%. So you have to perform, you have to practice each station at least 3-4 times, so you will be very smooth in the exam, I think.
Thank you, Dr. Fariel, for your time and for sharing your experience. It means a lot for me and also
Yeah,
for,
no
I think, all
problem.
of the candidates as well. Again, congratulations for your great achievement, Dr. Fariel. Good luck for your future. Okay. I know,
Thank
like,
you very much.
when you first attended the mocks, you were completely frustrated, if I'm not wrong, and then you texted me like, I don't know what goes wrong, and I couldn't pass it, right? So what can I do? You remember? And then you said like, I want to join your
Yeah,
course, and after you joined the course, you said like, now I can see the difference. What I did missed
yeah, that's
during
true.
my
That's
previous
true.
preparation and everything. I'm so happy, Dr. Fariel, you passed this. Okay.
Thank you
Very
very much,
nice.
and thank you
Very
so much,
nice,
Dr.
Dr. Farrell.
Atik.
Excellent. As I
It
always said,
wouldn't have been
excellent.
possible. It
No,
wouldn't have
no,
been possible without this group,
no.
I think. So
Yeah, it's okay.
this
Yes.
forum really helped me pass. So many thanks to you as well, and all the participants we used to practice with, Dr. Sonia, Dr. Nagendra, Dr. Sameer,
Yes.
Dr. There's so many people. I just
Yes.
don't remember the names exactly, but
Yes.
for all those candidates who are appearing in near future, you all can pass. It's not a kind of exam that is unable to go through. You can do it. Just need a little practice and just need a little more motivation and hard work. So uh, try again, and I think everybody can do it. If we are here today and we are sharing our experiences and past stories, then I think everybody can do it, and everybody will soon be sharing their stories with us.
Yes. Inshallah. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Everyone. And Dr. Ariel, IMG is a family. Okay. So don't forget us. And please do help whenever any candidate needs any in the group or wherever you can. Okay. Simply just do some help for all the candidates because there will be like a
Yes,
lots of
definitely.
questions they will have. Okay, so try to give some answers as well,
Yeah.
and always be happy. Okay. And congratulations again, Dr. Fariel. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I could not
Thank you.
reply. I received a text from a lot of candidates. I could not reply to everybody because I was busy somewhere. So I'll try to reply and today and tomorrow, like as soon as I get some time, I'll try to reply everybody. And even then, if somebody has questions or somebody is confused, just knock me anytime, and I'll try to get in touch with everybody who's about to appear in the exam.
Thank you, Fariel. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Dr. Christian, if you're here.
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Hello, Dr. Christian. Congratulations for your achievement. It's a great thing to hear from you as well. So, all right, can you please share your experience?
Sure. So
right.
basically, this was my second attempt at the exam. My first attempt was October last year. I was unsuccessful. Then I signed up for this course, but due to the time difference from where I live, I wasn't able to attend any of
You are
the
from,
live
Dr. Christian, you're from?
Trinidad.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I basically just used all the class recordings and the notes on all the different topics, and that was it. That's all I did.
All right. Okay, so like how long did you take for your preparation?
This time it was about 2.5 months.
Okay, great. Did you take anything else from like other than the notes, like as few candidates are asking, like do you have to go through from other sources of the questions like the past the MRCS or MRCS Part B questions bank and other stuff, like for anatomy, do you have to go through any other pictures as well? Like anything you want to share about your own experience, what you had before your
The
preparation?
only the only thing I did extra, I think, was I used past the MRCS, but that was
Mm-hmm,
just closer to the exam, just for revision purposes after I had
mm-hmm.
gone through all of the notes and class recordings.
Okay.
For anatomy, I think all the pictures and notes in the on the drive was more than enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I didn't use anything extra for anatomy.
All right. Okay, Dr. Krishan, very, very nice. And do you want to say anything like for any tips to prepare this easily or something, anything to your these new candidates? Anything if you want to
Um,
say?
I think what I found is that the exam is a fair exam, but
Yes,
it's nothing that we all don't know and that we've never really done before. It's essentially just testing the basics of our everyday clinical practice.
yes,
For communication, I know a lot of people were anxious about English is not their first language, but the key aspects of the communication stations were just cover some key aspects. Like for
yes,
example, the patients who wanted to DAMA just to explain to them in simple terms what condition they have and what's the risks and benefits. That's all. Once you cover those basic things, you should be fine. Even in the skill station, um, if you cannot perform the skill, that is fine on the day. Because me personally, on the day I had the suturing station and my hands were shaking because of nerves.
hmm
But the bulk of the marks that you get in those stations are from the questions afterwards. Because
yes,
performing the skill would only take 2 minutes. If you can
yes,
do it, cannot do it, that's fine once you answer the questions. And there are things that we all know and that we have all done before. So it's doable.
yes, yes. All right. Anyone wants to ask anything to Dr. Christian? All right. Dr. Christian, I think this is the first time you have joined in any live sessions since you have joined
Yeah,
the course, right?
yes it is.
And
Yes it is.
this is the first time I'm hearing your voice as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. Thank you so much. And when you texted in the course group, like I passed, I was so impressed and I was so happy. Okay. So yeah, congratulations, Dr. Christian. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
And try to help all of the candidates who have their exam in future and in coming days as well. Okay. And don't forget us. It's a MG family. Okay.
Yep.
Dr.
No
Christian.
worries.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Christian, for sharing your experiences. All right. Dr. Samir, are you here?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Dr. Samir was the most favorite student. So I want to hear from Dr. Samir. Dr. Samir,
Thank
can
you
you
so
please
much, sir.
share
Thank you so
your
much for giving me that
elaborate,
honor.
yeah,
Thank you so much for
just
giving me that honor. I'm sure you have all your favorites and you love all of them equally as much as you do.
mhm.
And I really appreciate your sincerity and hard work towards your students. And I fail to understand the amount of attachment and love that you have for your students. I just fail to understand. And a person who's not known to you 2.5, 3 months back cries for you when you just fail to respond to a message. So this is something which I fail to understand. God bless you, Dr. Atik. I
Thank you.
will
Thank you.
always remember you as the most genuine and most down to earth mentor that I ever had in my life and in my entire career. I'm
No. Samir,
probably elder to you. I am 44, and I'm sure you are quite young.
yeah.
But you are my mentor, and I will not hesitate in saying this. I will not hesitate in saying this, that you are there, sitting right at the top of the list of my mentors in my life, right at the top.
No, Dr. Samir, it's too much. Okay, let's share your experience. Let's share. Start from the
So
beginning.
good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Samir. This is the first time probably I'll be introducing myself as what I am.
Yes.
I am a practicing orthopedic surgeon in Mumbai, in India, and I've been practicing orthopedics for almost 18, 19 years now. Into private practice for the last 15 years, and very happy with my practice. So a lot of people who know me always ask me what is the reason you're appearing for this exam, but there are some personal and professional reasons why I thought of appearing for this exam. So I came to know about Dr. Atik's class accidentally. I did not take any course or any. I did not join any group from a part A. I did part A through EMRCS and past test, and I also watched every YouTube video of Dr. Rami, which he has posted online. And when I passed my when I passed my MRCS Part A, I immediately joined a lot of group where MRCS was being discussed. And in one of the groups, I saw one of the ads mentioning about this course, the IMG course. And I immediately contacted Dr. Rami and he said, you will have to contact to Dr. Atik, who's the one taking care of the Part B course. And that's when I contacted Dr. Atik, and the rest is history. From that day to today, my life has changed. This man has changed me completely. I mean, the way I used to think about taking up exams, and today I think about taking up exams is entirely different. One very important thing that I've learned in life and learned in the last 3 to 4 months is that never ever leave an opportunity to help anyone in your life if you get one. I've learned it from Dr. Atik. This is a selfless man. I don't have better words to describe him. This man is selfless. I have seen other people running similar groups, encouraging people to listen to them, giving out their knowledge, but at the same time, being very money-minded. But here is a man who's conducting free mocks. I don't know from when he is doing that, but I know him for the last 3.5, 4 months. Selflessly doing mocks with his own personal commitments which he has as a doctor. I believe he's a critical care specialist working in a cardiothoracic unit, and trust me, I've worked in a critical care unit after my MBBS, and it's a hectic job. You get drained in those whatever hours, 8 hours, 10 hours of duty, and you feel lifeless for the remaining hours of the day. In spite of being in that profession and in spite of being in that kind of hectic job, this man reads 4 to 6 hours a day to take classes for another 3 to 4 hours a day. I wonder when he eats, when he sleeps, when he rests. So if this man has 48 hours in a day, I pray to Allah that he gets another 10 so that he can take care of his health. Hats off to you, Dr. Atiq.
Dr. Samir,
So,
I'm speechless. I just
No. This is all coming from my heart. You know, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how to describe a man like you. I don't have words. It is very overwhelming for me. You know, I just couldn't. You know, I couldn't. I didn't want to cry, but I just couldn't stop thinking that why is Dr. Atiq crying, wanting to know that what is my result? You know. My wife did not cry. My mother did not cry. Nobody cried. You know, all they said is that, you know, whatever is your result, we are happy. We've seen your hard work and we are happy with whatever is destined for us. But this is a man who's sitting on his prayer mat, crying for me and wanting to know my result. And trust me, Dr. Atiq, till that point of time, I did not see my result. I did not open my email box. And even after talking to you, I kept checking for my result. They were not there. My result were posted on my email only after Maghrib prayers. That is India time 7:30. Now, after I finished my Maghrib prayers, I opened my email and there was this email, which I didn't open it myself. I went back home. I asked my wife because that's been my ritual, part A also and part B also, because I consider I'm too unlucky for myself. So I let my wife do the email opening stuff, and both times, you know, she's been very lucky for me. Both the times the good news was revealed to me by my wife. So coming back to you know, the IMG thing, you know, how did IMG happen? So it happened by coincidence, and I did not look anywhere else to join any other class. You know, there were a lot of people providing courses. I still get calls from one of the very famous you know, course coordinators who are now constantly pestering me to join their FRCS course. But never did I feel that I will need anything else other than the IMG course. Such is the amount of dedication that Dr. Atiq has for his students, and such comprehensive material he is providing you. I did not refer to any script for exam in any form, not even Google. Purely IMG, MRCS, that's about it. Halas, nothing else. I had complete faith in Dr. Atiq and his words. You know, I asked him once, do I need to refer to any other material other than what you've provided? He said, Samir, the material that I've given you will cover nearly 90% of your subject. The 10% leave it to your faith. You know, if you are good in your concept, you will be able to answer that. If you are even not able to answer those 10%, your 90% will take you to your destination. Trust me, not a single question in my examination was asked outside the IMG MRCS course. Not a single question. Even the basic molecular level pathology that I was asked and grilled on, the basic molecular level critical care that I was grilled on, was there in Dr. Atiq's note. All you need during your exams is your presence of mind, which I think is very difficult, you know. Controlling your nerves and being present in your station is the most difficult thing that you can ever imagine can happen to you. I almost had a nervous breakdown because my exam started with a rest station. My second station was my first station, and it was a critical care station. I'm very sorry to say this, but there are some examiners who take pride in making things difficult for you. And unfortunately, my first station was with such an examiner. My first station was Absolutely rubbish. I just don't want to remember it. Absolutely rubbish. But there's a very important thing that, all you candidates who are appearing for past party OSCEs is that please do not carry your baggage. If there is something which is going on wrong with you, let it go, leave it, forget it, move on in life. Because that baggage is only going to make your subsequent questions and stations difficult. For all you know, your subsequent questions are going to be easier and not related to your first question. In all these years that I have given whatever exams, I always thought our subsequent questions are based on what we answer initially. But MRCS is not like that. There are a fixed set of questions. The examiner is not going to deviate from the fixed set of questions. He cannot ask you anything other than what is being written in the scripture. He will only ask you that. He is not entitled. He is being watched. Apart from the examiners that you have as a candidate, there is an examiner who is watching the examiners. So you are being taken care of. If there is any examiner who is not behaving in an appropriate manner, he will probably be reported. So this is a very fair exam, probably the fairest of exams that I have ever given. You might have different views on it, but I feel this is the fairest of examination I have ever appeared in my life. Fairest of all. The examiners are also very fair, but there are some faces which give you confidence and there are some faces which don't. And unfortunately, my first station and my last stations were the worst. Absolutely worst. Rubbish. I thought I am failing this exam. But again, there was one angel coming to my rescue after my exam, sitting far away, probably 5,000 miles away from me, telling me that, Samir, from whatever you've spoken to me about, I am telling you, you are passing this exam. And it was only with that hope that the later 1 month were peaceful for me. I was constantly thinking about my first station, which was my critical care station, and my last station, which was my pathology station. I had sleepless nights thinking about these two batch stations, but the belief that my tutor, my mentor had in me made me strong every day, and the results were seen yesterday. I did not get the best of marks. I barely passed. Let me be very honest about it. I barely passed. But from a situation where I was thinking that I will not make it and I will have to reset this exam, it's like coming back to life after death. So I really want every one of you to believe in yourself. And one very important mantra of passing this exam is, do not carry your baggage. Do not, at any cost. Just leave your station where it is. Move on. Things are there for you which will make life easier for you. There is betterment in there. Just move on. The exams are very simple. Coming to the point that some people said that there are different pictures. Yes, all my anatomy pictures were different. None of the pictures that we had in my course were there in the exams. They were absolutely different. But it's very simple, If I show you Shah Rukh Khan in 10 images, and if I show you an 11th image, wouldn't you be able to identify Shah Rukh Khan? It's that simple. A subclavian artery will not become carotid. Similarly, any other anatomy will not change. Just orient yourself, Don't mug up images. Don't develop a picturist memory. Just orient yourself, As an orthopedic surgeon, I find muscular anatomy, musculoskeletal anatomy very easy. But, we've been always told like that you orient yourself. Don't mug up images, orient yourself. So I had lower limb anatomy pictures in my one of anatomy stations, and you orient yourself medial to lateral by looking at around the knee. You look at the fibula, and you look at a very important muscle called plantaris. So a lot of people don't look at it. A lot of people don't look below the knee. They just look above the knee for semimembranosus and the biceps. And that's how they derive the relationship of the tibial nerve, the common peroneal nerve, the vessels, the popliteal vein and the popliteal artery. But if you orient yourself according to the nature of the structures, it becomes very easy. You will not have to think twice, which one is medial, which one is lateral, which one is deeper, which one is superficial. Just run your eyes throughout the length of the picture, whatever is provided, and you will get your answer. Sometimes the questions are a little tricky and unnerving. Do not stick to that question. One very important thing I would want to advise every one of you is that if you are unsure of any single question, do not waste more than a second over there. Just say, I will come back to it later if I have time. That's about it. You're not going to get negative marks. But if you utter a wrong answer, you are immediately marked a 0. And there is no way, even after 1 second, that if you remember the right answer, you will be given the right mark. No. Once you utter the wrong answer, you are marked wrong. So do not utter the wrong answer. English people do not like overconfidence. Even if there is a station where you feel you know 101%, do not speak fast. Be gentle, be slow, and take your time in answering. If there are 10 minutes allotted to you for your station, there are no extra marks to complete it in 5 minutes. Use your 10 minutes. Pace yourself. The examiner will pick up pace if he feels that you are losing out on time. But do not hurry up in your answers, because it will only show, if I may use the word, arrogance. The examiner feels that this candidate is too arrogant. He will think that you know it all. So your subsequent questions will not be as pleasant. The questions will still remain the same, but it will not be as pleasant. This MRCS, the Royal College system, marking system is very simple. There is a pass, there is a fail, and there is a borderline. When you give an ambiguous answer, you are marked borderline. And this is your savior. This is your guardian angel, your borderline mark. If you were to be in a situation when you are not crossing the line, this borderline will help you. This is your grace mark. This borderline will put you across the line. And if there is a situation where you are excelling in the station, this borderline will be a negative mark. So if you are excelling the station, you don't have to worry. But if you are doing bad in a station, this borderline will come to your rescue. This will save you that station. This is what happened with me. In my knowledge section, out of those 100 marks meant for 3 anatomy and 2 pathology, I just passed it. And it is all thanks to my 3 anatomy station. I am telling you, in those 60 marks of anatomy, I must have got not less than 55 marks. Because I know how bad my pathology stations were. But I still passed purely because of my anatomy. So your anatomy is your shield. This is something which can give you even 100% marks. And trust me, it is not difficult. The amount of portion that we have in anatomy, if you have 3 to 4 months of preparation, you can easily do it 5 times. Easily do it 5 times. And I am telling you, you can do it 5 times. Pathology, I would recommend do it 5 times. But it is, for me, it was very volatile. I am dyslexic. I cannot read. So I had to constantly go through Dr. Atik's recording of my class. I constantly kept, going through the classes at twice the speed, sometimes even 0.75% of the speed, just to bring that thing in my mind, that I have to remember it. So there are many methods by which one can study, but I believe, listening to the lectures is the best thing that you can do. Some people who have picturist memory will remember by, picturist techniques, but I think this audio technique is something which is time tested, and it will help you. So try and listen to the videos and recordings, during my travel time. I gave my exams in a very busy schedule. Alhamdulillah, I have a very good practice. And I used to listen to Dr. Atik's videos, the audios of the classes. Every time while I was traveling, I was driving, every time I had free time, I just used to take that opportunity and listen to his videos. That's how I studied. I barely can look into the book. I'm 45. So looking into the book gives me headache. I get eye strain. So this technique of listening to the audio and listening to the videos, watching the videos is a very easy and very simple way to learn your stuff. Critical care doesn't change. The principles of critical care doesn't change. So even if you do your critical care 2 or 3 times, I think you are set. The important thing here is to remember the principles of critical care. Rest everything will fall in place. In your knowledge section, in your pathology, do not waste time on looking into the genetics part and the recent advances like which gene is implicated. These are probably 1 or 2 questions in 100 marks. So do not beat your head. Do not waste your time in, because this is what I did. I wasted a lot of time in remembering the genetics part of it, and nothing was asked. No genetics was asked. So don't waste time on that. This is my suggestion. Obviously, there are other people who would have a different say in it, but this is my suggestion. Also, try and listen to what the examiner is asking. During my course, I had literally mugged up the different species of fungi, the different candida species. And during my station, when my examiner told me that such and such would be the condition, such and such is the growth on the growth medium, what would you think? So I said, it's a fungal infection. So he said, what kind of fungus? I told him Candida albicans. He said, what other fungus can you think of? So I kept talking about the other species of Candida, but he was not interested in knowing the other species of Candida. He was interested in knowing the other fungus, which he kept repeating, but I probably did not pay attention to him. And in the heat of the moment, I uttered the word actinomycosis. So he looked at me with dismay. So I was thinking, what did I say? I wanted to say aspergillosis, but I uttered actinomycosis. So it was a slip of tongue. But when I remembered aspergillosis, I told him aspergillosis. He said, no, I've already marked you wrong. So if you are not paying attention, probably because a previous question was not answered correctly, you are ruining your chances of getting whatever possible marks are there in store for you in your subsequent questions. So learn it from now to leave behind whatever wrong or difficult questions have been asked. Just move on, which is the most important and key aspect of this exam. Your entire 4 hours of examination depend on how well you control your nerves and how well you leave your baggage behind. Trust me, there is no other mantra to controlling your anxiety other than this. My anxiety took the better of me. It killed me during my exam. And I was shivering. I was having cold feet. Everything worse that could have ever happened to me happened on that day. But it is probably the prayers and blessings of all my well-wishers in this group, my family, and the blessings of my mentor that has made me see this. And I wish my friend, my brother Nagendra and Sonia could have made this true. I would have been very happy. But I'm at the same time, praying for them that they come out stronger of all this and realize what was their mistake and work on it and get through it. It's as simple as that. So coming back, I'm very sorry, I've become very emotional and I talk a lot. But coming back to the method of preparing your exams, I would say give the most time to your knowledge part and revise it as much as possible. My recommendation is a minimum 5 times for anatomy, 5 times for pathology, 3 times for critical care. And I think only 1 month is sufficient to completely do in and out your skill section. 1 month is more than sufficient. Give most of your time for your knowledge section because it is volatile. You will keep forgetting it. You have to get into the practice of revising it again and again and again. It will help you. Trust me, it will help. I don't know what else to say, but if there
Dr.
are
Samir,
questions.
Dr. Samir, it was so heart-touching, in between your talkings, my screen blurred out several times. Thank you so much for sharing such a heart-touching, journey. I wasn't expecting that much, Thank you so much for that.
Whatever I have said is what
I can
I
feel
feel
it.
about you and I feel about the family.
I can feel it. Yeah.
I am very honest about this. Very honest about this. There's one important confession which I want to make in front of everyone. Before joining your course, I had already booked myself for a preparatory course by Edinburgh, RCS OSCE preparatory course, which was conducted in Kolkata on the day of Eid. And I had already registered for it. And before going for that course, we discussed in one of our class that it's a worthless course. It's a waste of money. And there were two candidates before me who had taken that course, and unfortunately, they were not successful. So that jinx kept playing in my mind, and I was very reluctant to divulge that thing that I joined that course. So to be very honest, it was actually a waste of, I think it was 300 pounds, if I'm not wrong. So it was actually a waste of that much money. But there were a few things which I learned from that course, which I discussed in our class, which were really helpful. It did matter a lot. But, if I were to say the course content there and the course content that you provided, it would be, say, it would be 1% of what IMG provided to me. The RCS preparatory course was just 1% of what IMG provided to me. But I don't repent taking that course, because I just feel that everything that comes across you in your life, even if that gives you negative marks, it's worth a lesson. So having gone through that course, I can very well advise my future aspirants, that it is not worth taking it. I wouldn't advise anyone to take up that course. But because I had already taken up that course and I had paid a huge amount of money, so I went and I attended that course.
All right.
This
Someone
is
is
something which I
asking.
always wanted to say.
Yeah, Dr. Samir, someone is asking, is there any hands-on course you need? And if yes, then which one you suggest?
So if you are into, see, this preparatory course was supposed to be a hands-on course, but there was nothing hands-on. I mean, there were instruments kept, there were material kept, and you were expected to perform as if you are there in the exam. Nobody taught us how to do it. We are the ones who are supposed to do it, and they will judge you on it. So it was a big sham kind of a course, I would say. So if you really want to learn hands-on, apart from whatever is being discussed in IMG course, I think Dr. Atik discusses his course, and the amount of repetition that he does, if somebody is not understanding, is phenomenal. He will also share certain videos which are not easily available otherwise. He's got his own set of videos which he shares with his class people about the procedural skills, are very, very specific and to the point. These videos are something which you will benefit from a lot. And even at the time of examination, if you don't have time to go through your notes, just watch these videos. The videos that he shared with the class, I must have probably watched them 100 times in a loop. Every single video that is shared with the class. And these are short videos, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, very easy to watch them. So for skills, even if you don't have hands-on, if you have, nothing like it. The best thing is to feel something rather than see something. But if you don't have that opportunity to do anything hands-on, watching videos which Dr. Atik shares with his class is something equally good.
Okay, and Dr. Akash asks is, in the history, how you have managed your time, and if the patient is talking too much, okay, is it fine to interrupt repeatedly? And what exactly to say while interruption?
This is a difficult scenario, I would say, very difficult scenario, and it's a catch-22 situation. I had two very talkative patients, one in history taking and one in a clinical examination. And they made my life difficult. But the examiner is there watching you, and he will see your attempts and your conscious effort towards professionalism, and he will interrupt. I thought I will have to interrupt the patient, but my examiners were kind enough in interrupting the patient and stopping them wherever they felt that the patient is taking too much of my most precious time. So one of my clinical stations was mini mental status examination along with examination of all 12 cranial nerves, which I think even today, if I practice for 100 times, I won't be able to complete in half an hour if I have to do it religiously. I could not imagine doing it in 6 minutes. So my examiner was kind enough. He stopped me in my mini mental status examination. In my third or fourth question, he probably realized that I know my stuff and I'm doing it well. And in my cranial nerves, he stopped me in optic nerve and he then told me, you just tell me what else will you do for your other cranial nerves instead of actually me performing it, because he realized that I'm doing it right. So he just wanted me to complete everything well within that 6 minutes and then get on to the questions, because I think it's impossible to complete MMSC along with 12 cranial nerves in 6 minutes. And the other history taking station that I have had was an osteoarthritic knee, and he was a talkative fellow. He was actually a footballer because his calves are huge, and he was talking a lot. So in that stress of examination, I forgot my 10-step approach, and I missed out on asking him about his personal history. I did ask about personal history. Sorry, I missed out about his family history. Missed asking him about his ideas and concerns. Missed asking him about his systemic history. So these are important marks I lost there. But yes, I think you make up for it. You lose some, you gain some. The most important thing is just to keep your nerves calm and try to stick to your pattern. Try to stick to your approach, because it's very important that you at least touch upon the important skeleton of your examination or your answering pattern. At least touch upon, even if you're not answering in detail, because as I said, there is a thing called as borderline. If you've touched upon that thing, if I've touched upon the systemic examination and I am falling, say, a mark short, that borderline will take me across. So at least see to it that you touch upon the basic skeleton of your examination pattern or your questioning pattern, so that you don't lose out on. Because if I have not come to that point of asking his personal history or family history or his ideas, concerns, the examiner is not going to give me any marks. He is not my God. He will say, okay, Samir, I know you are a good student. You are doing well in your practice, so I will pass you. No, you have to prove yourself. So just stay calm and learn how to manage your time and touch upon all the skeleton structures.
All right. Anyone wants to ask anything to Dr. Samir? And Dr. Samir, don't forget about our family, okay?
Never, sir, never. This is a family made forever.
Yes.
I will be more than happy to share my mobile number. A lot of people in the group have my mobile number, but I'll be more than happy to share my mobile number. So I'm just a call away. I'm used to, and taking calls from anyone. I don't really hesitate to answer calls unless I'm operating.
Yes.
I answer everyone's call. So you can call me anytime whenever you feel.
Yes. And for everyone, yes. Hello?
Dr. Atik, I have a question for Dr. Samir.
Yes, go ahead.
So you told us about the difficulties of exam. Which part of the examination you find easy and reassuring, that during the station you are feeling good?
So, see, I went back to my pathology after 25 years. I last studied pathology in 1998. So I found pathology the most difficult. And I am still, studying anatomy. I say studying because studying is a never-ending process. And being a surgeon and an orthopedic surgeon, I deal with anatomy day in and out. So I found anatomy the most easiest of all, the most easiest. And that should be a forte. I think everyone's forte should be anatomy. These are 60 free marks there for grab. Leave it and you are inviting trouble. Take it and you are assuring yourself a pass. These 60 marks are up for grabs. Just set yourself that you will do anatomy in and out. You should know everything about anatomy, the A and the Y, everything should be in and out. anatomy is something which you will never, ever want to leave. I find pathology difficult, but I'm sure a lot of people who are fresh out of knowledge, who've probably passed MBBS in the last 2-3 years, they will find pathology much easier. And it doesn't really matter if you are a specialist in one particular field. You feel that, okay, I thought that spine examination, knee examination, hip examination is something which I can just get up anytime in the night and do it. No. If you don't have control over your nerves, your specialty will kill you, because you feel that you know it all and you try to give it your best shot, and those 6 minutes fall short. You are not able to complete everything in 6 minutes. So forget yourself, forget your specialty, and concentrate on the core structure of the examination. Concentrate on touching every aspect. So if I have to say which was the easiest part of this examination, then I think anatomy was the easiest part. Easier than suturing, which I do day in and out. Easier than counseling patient, which I do every day. And the most difficult part was pathology, undoubtedly was pathology.
All right, so someone is asking, can you give some important information about the phone consultation as well?
So my phone call station was exactly the same as we had in my course. Exactly the same. Nothing was out of it. Exactly the same. I had a trauma patient.
Trauma case,
and I had to call trauma case. I had to call up my consultant, a vascular consultant, and I had to request him to attend to the patient. It was exactly the same. Even the questions were exactly the same. Not a single question was different from what was given in my course book. Everything was the same. And I think I did very well in that station. The stations that I remember the most are my communication station. This was one of the best stations I did. And the second was trying to convince a Dharma patient not to take a discharge. Because I still remember that smile on the face of the lay examiner. She was a lady, and she was so happy the way I was trying to convince my patient to stay back. She was so happy. She kept telling to the clinical examiner, he's good, and I could hear that. And before every communication station, you have a gap station, you have a rest station where you have to collect your notes. So, and it is very close to your actual station. So you can hear what the two examiners and this person is talking, the patient is talking. He's an actor. So I could hear them making fun of some candidates, and I could hear them, making fun of the whole system. But when I finished my examination, my whole perception about that station changed. It was so good. They were very happy with me. She gave me a thumb. The lay examiner gave me a thumbs up when I was leaving. Those were my best station, but I would still say anatomy was the easiest.
All right, so anyone wants to ask anything to Dr. Samir? All right. So Dr. Samir, inshallah, we are going to help all the candidates in the future as well, because as I told you, as we are planning to go in India for hands-on, you will be the part of it. Okay, and I'll be so happy to have you behind me. Okay,
it's an honor, sir. It's an honor to be a part of this family, and it's an honor, equally big honor, that you are considering me. I am very average knowledge person, and you're considering me to impart knowledge to people.
It's not a matter of knowledge, Dr. Samir. What matters is, like, are you like feeling it, right? Are you giving the proper things to the candidate? That's what it matters. And I know you, right? How you feel and how you do the things. So you will be the best person to give some support to the candidates as well. Okay, so that's why, inshallah. See you, brother. Okay.
Hello.
Inshallah.
Just a second.
Yes.
This is Sanika, Dr. Samir.
Hello, Sanika.
Hi. So while you were speaking, I literally got goosebumps, and I am actually very happy that I was in the session. I heard you because you spoke your heart out. Thank you for all the tips. And I am even more happy to hear that I'll be meeting you in Mumbai. I am a Mumbai candidate. I'll be
Wow.
giving my exam in
Wow.
December.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes. So I had my own doubts and I had my own anxiety with regards to the exam, because I think very few candidates have appeared for the Mumbai exam. So we had absolutely no clue about how is it going to go or how is it going to happen. But the way you spoke and the way you have put trust in Dr. Atik is an amazing person. I recognized that the day I spoke to him, but then you giving me so much of confidence has just boosted my process. And like, I am now running. I'm not actually running, but in my head, I'm running. Like, I'm actually feeling it that the exam is going to be amazing.
Very glad.
Sanika.
Very happy to
I
know
mean,
that.
I
Classic
don't have
Sanika.
words right now. I don't have words. You are such an amazing motivator. Like, people do give reviews, but the review given by you and everything about the exam, really, really thank you. You have given us a clearer picture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanika. God bless you. God bless you, child. I'm sure you'll do very well in life.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. One important thing I would want to touch upon and stress upon is that please don't get into this notion that England centers are difficult and India centers are going to be easy or Egypt centers are going to be easy. The exams are very standardized. The most unfortunate thing that can happen to you is that you might be unlucky if you've got too many good candidates appearing on the same day, same session as you are, because the exams are after all taken out as an average of the mean marks and then they decide a cutoff point. That's probably happened with my friend Sonia, because when I compared my result with hers, she probably had a higher cutoff. So that's the most unlucky part. Otherwise, I don't see England centers being more difficult to appear and the other centers being easier. It's all a belief, which I don't think you should carry on in your mind. You are, after all, qualified doctors. It doesn't matter if you get a simple abdomen or you get in a difficult abdomen. You are a doctor. You know your stuff, and you should be able to do it. And I'm sure everyone will be doing it. I'm sure everyone will do it, and everyone is going to pass. So don't think that Fala center is difficult and Fala center is going to be difficult, easy, and don't waste time on trying to find that center as your examination center when you are all prepared. If you feel that you are prepared and you are up for it, come what may, whichever exam, whichever center you are on, even if it is on Mars, you will ace it. That's my belief about every student who has studied with sincerity. You will ace it wherever on earth your examination may be.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Atik, I want to say something about Dr.
Go ahead,
Sami.
sir. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, actually, till last month, before the examinations of Dr. Sami, Dr. Farial, Sonia, and Dr. Nagendra. So, the mock stations which we appeared, actually from the core of heart, I was feeling just like the competition, to say something good like that with in comparison to the very bright students, bright candidates like all of them. So I think I have to congratulate. I congratulated before also Dr. Sami. He is an excellent guy, excellent doctor, and I like him. I love him, and also the pattern of answering of Dr. Sanjeev, Dr. Nak Sanjeev, and other candidates here with us. Very good. I hope all will do better. Please pray for us, Dr. Sami.
Yes, definitely. I love you too, Fahad, sir. I miss listening to your voice in the sessions that we used to. I miss Sanjeev.
Yeah.
Sanjeev, if you are around listening to me, I am in awe of your voice, Sanjeev. The way you command, the way you speak is something which I would want to have in myself.
Yeah.
So, bro, you are flattered me, bro. Actually, Dr. Samit, and I was supposed to have a phone chat today evening, but I think I don't have anything else to ask to him because he had explained everything in so detail. I don't have any questions for him actually.
No, this is your love. And I would say it's such a humble family, you know. We love each other so much. And
beware, I'm going to bother you with phone calls almost every day. Beware of me, okay?
you are more than welcome, Sanjeev. You have my number. You are more than welcome. Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fahad sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Samir, thank you so much for your time. And inshallah, we will meet soon. Okay.
Inshallah,
And we will work together, inshallah, as well. And thank you so much. And as you said, you will be there for any queries and any help the candidates will be seeking for. So you are the part of the family. Okay. And you said like you also want to join the some of the classes as well whenever you have some time. Please do so.
Yes.
Okay, because I'll be missing your voice and all that stuff. And please pray for the next coming candidates, okay, who is going to give their exam in July. Okay,
my best wishes.
So pray for
my
them
best
as well.
Wishes.
Yes,
Inshallah,
they will ace on it again, just like you did. And inshallah, we will pray for Nagendra and Dr. Sonia. And I have talked with them. Okay, and I think they're preparing for October, and let's hope for the best for them as well.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Samir, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. See you. We'll talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
All right. So I think, yeah, that's it. We have talked with 3 candidates and they have shared their thoughts, their experiences. We are so happy to hear from them. All right. So let's begin our mock